My grandfather, Gary L. Carter, who I call Pop, was born July 27, 1941, in Elizabeth, New Jersey. He was one of four children and grew up at the end of the Great Depression. His mom, my great grandmother, was able to complete high school. However, his father had to leave school in eighth grade to help support the family. They lived modestly and did not have materialistic things like kids have today, but neither did his friends. He grew up near a river and the Atlantic Ocean. Sports and outdoor activities were a big part of his life, and he definitely passed the enjoyment of those things down to my mom and our family. His parents were the ones to provide him a solid Christian foundation, which is another thing that he has carried on throughout our family. My grandpa married my amazing and beautiful grandma, Patsy Carter, who was born in Alexandria, Louisiana on September 29, 1943. A major event that shaped my grandpa was when he joined the Marine Corps after high school, following in his older brother's footsteps. The Cuban Missile Crisis happened while my pop was in the Corps. He was stationed on the USS Bayfield during the blockade of Cuba and was selected to go ashore 24 hours before the scheduled invasion to be part of the advance team to set up beachfront. John F. Kennedy was the president of the USA at the time of the missile crisis. My grandpa says that marrying my grandmother, his wife of 53 years, while in the Marine Corps gave him strength and comfort. He gives her credit to being the glue that held the family together. His job had him traveling a lot, which left Patsy raising the children by herself during extended periods. His legacy lives on quite strongly in my family. My dad, who is my grandpa's son-in-law, was an officer in the Marine Corps, and my brother Zach also followed in my grandfather's footsteps when he joined the Marine Corps upon graduating from high school in 2011. Zach served in Afghanistan in 2013. My family understands that living in the United States comes at a price, and I'm very thankful to be part of a family willing to pay the price to keep our freedom. The event my grandpa claims to have shaped him the most was being in law enforcement, which he did for 34 years. His career started in Los Angeles, California as a police officer, where he served for 6 years. He was a young husband and father raising 3 kids. A police officer must always be above the law, setting a good example to not only his family but to everyone else. As a police officer, he witnessed the worst and the best in our society. Those experiences influenced how he would raise my mom, aunt, and uncle, and the many, many lessons he would teach me as I have grown up. He thinks he may have been a little overprotective because of all the evil and crime he had to witness. He continued to pursue his law enforcement career with the Drug Enforcement Administration. As a DEA agent and a supervisor, he worked undercover purchasing illegal drugs, disrupting international drug organizations, and testifying against them in federal courts. For about 7 years at the end of his career, he and my grandmother were stationed in India and Myanmar, previously known as Burma. Those assignments allowed his family to travel extensively in Europe and Asia. My grandpa said there have been many people, places, and events that had an influence on his life. He tries to take the best from everyone he meets. My grandfather has been one of the most influential individuals in my life. He always tells me to just be kind to everyone, and I really try to take his advice on that. I have shared many wonderful memories with my grandparents, and I plan on sharing many more. I'm truly thankful for the legacy him and my grandma have created, and I feel immensely blessed to call them my grandparents. They make the world a sweeter place.